was a humanization to the medicine that I was really taught at RCSI. The huge emphasis on classical clinical diagnostic skills. But there's really something to be said for having a stethoscope and have it be more than a prop.
It was learning how to ask the right questions, learning how to learn, and knowing how to find the right answer. So especially with the work that we're doing down in these resource-limited areas where you don't have access to advanced labs, and you're really just relying on yourself.
We are privileged to have three exceptional individuals here to talk about their experiences in emergency and disaster locations around the world. The floating doctors and Colette Fitzpatrick.
So, floating doctors, Ben, how did it start?
Having just graduated from RCSI and awaiting my intern year to begin, one of my classmates suggested, while you're waiting, you should go to Tanzania, you'll really like it. So I went. As I was being driven out to see the Serengeti, the guy driving me said, hey, there's this Maasai village close by here. Do you want to come and see it? I said, sure. So we get to this small village, 150, 200 people. For the first time as a newly minted doctor, I had the, oh, you're a doctor. Hey, while you're here, you might have a look at this thing on my... So I saw the first person, then I saw the second person, then I saw the third person. And like 7 hours later, like I'm kind of finished. And that was when I had like these two realizations. One was, oh, so this is what it means when it's like resource-limited healthcare, where you lack everything all the way down to, I don't even have any ibuprofen left. And the second was, well, I don't have any ibuprofen left, so am I gonna tell this person, like, sorry, I can't help you? I mean, like, what kind of doctor would I be? So I got back in the car and I was like, this is what I wanna do. So we looked for a ship and we found one that had been underwater. As soon as right as we finished it and we were getting our plan to go to Belize, the earthquake in Haiti happened in 2010. And we were like, well, this is put up or shut up time. This is exactly what our project was designed for.
Both of you spoke very passionately about why this college in particular. What makes it so brilliant?
Being trained here, it's really a matter of learning how to think, learning how to find the answers for yourself. Especially I had a teacher, I think he's still around, Dr. Tom Farrell, right?
Why is everyone laughing when you say that name?
Because anybody in this room who's had an oral exam from Dr. Farrell, if you ever once say, well, I don't know, he'll stop and be like, no, of course you know, just think. And he's one of the many instructors around here that really just teach you how to go through a logical thought process and find the answer.
First talk to the patient, then listen to the patient, then put your hands on the patient. That was exactly what I needed in terms of being able to do what I do now, where there is no CT scanner, like on a remote island. You have to be able to sit down and do what doctors have done for centuries.
Does everyone have what it takes, or is it a certain type of personality?
I'd say before anything else, you have to actually care about people, including people you may dislike. It's easy to care about a patient that is really endearing.
Yeah.
It's another thing to have a patient who you just think is such a jerk, but to actually care about them. But almost everything else flows from that. Things like what you will endure by way of physical discomfort or anxiety or stress in order to deliver something for that patient.
And I know that the whole philosophy and missions behind floating doctors is very much like what happens here at RCSI. It's not just, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, it's teach a man to fish.
It's not just going and doing the immediate care. Our whole focus is on sustainable change. In Haiti, for instance, we made sure to bring in whatever healthcare providers we could, an extra nurse, or even just people that knew how to do basic first aid and CPR, and spent a while training them.
The unmet need for healthcare, we've heard a little bit about it amongst low-income communities. It can be overwhelming, it can be paralysing in fact. And I do think it takes a special skill to look through that forest of unmet need and see what can be done to help. And I think there's no doubt that Ben and Ryan have that skill set and have that difference. They're still making that difference.
It sort of puts into context kind of what we're doing here, but kind of seeing people who've been here and who've been through it, and they're now kind of part of the bigger picture.
As a graduate of RCSI, it would be quite inspiring to maybe be able to join them one day.
So going forward with the floating doctors, What we're really looking at doing is expanding some of our current practices, developing more institutional partnerships. So by doing that, then we can pass on these lessons to the next generation of doctors and then the next generation of doctors.